We got a lot of stuff that we need to reorganize, take from upstairs, move it downstairs, take things from downstairs, move them upstairs. We got to deal with this tank that has just been turning into more and more of a crazy, I don't even know what. The force tank is looking really good since we trimmed it last. So hopefully we can get this tank over here looking kind of like that one. I mean, it's not going to look exactly like it. It's totally different aquascape, but I think you know what I'm talking about. I have a bunch of really cool new projects that are loosely planned out, but we have to get rid of a ton of stuff first. Not only do I have to take down tanks, move tanks, I gotta sell a ton of stuff. So here's the graveyard of LEDs that I need to get rid of. Some tanks out here that need to go. And then there's tanks that we need to move around. So there's just, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, guys. Hopefully we can get a lot of that done today, and then we can start to talk about a little bit of these projects. I don't want to go over all of them. I don't want to give you like all the information about them, just because I want them to be, at least a few of them, I want them to be a surprise. But here's a clue for one of them. I want to show this off though, guys. This is really cool. So this is the old holding tank that had the Kurais, and yes, there are more baby Kurais in here. They don't stop popping out of nowhere. So anyway, this is all Laguigia Super Red Mini that's been just growing on the top here. Basically just a few stems that were floating in there, and then the Sylvinia took over. It managed to pop out the top here and just fill in. This stuff is looking awesome. This will play a role in some of the new projects that I'm working on. This stuff is just beautiful. The dark red color of it, I absolutely love it. First things first though, guys, let's start to work on the cube over here and get it looking a little bit better. Before we start the trimming montage, let me just start by saying this is kind of what I wanted to have happen, but it's also, I mean, not, because if you look down here, the Monte Carlo, the baby tears, it's all choked out. It looks still pretty green though, so I think we're going to be able to rebound that. But yeah, this is all Rotala. I believe it's Hurrah, or it's Yao Ye, or maybe it's both. And there's also some Japan clover. The water level drained down kind of low recently, and it fried a lot of this Japan clover. It just ended up being completely up out of the water. I think this looks pretty sweet. Like, this stuff got a little crispy. It's totally dead. But before it died, it was this red color, and it looks pretty cool. So yeah, the whole plants growing up out of water thing can be pretty sweet. You just maybe don't want to let it get this out of hand. And maybe we should do this after all. I've been sitting on this thing for like a year. Drop it down in the comments, guys, if you want to see the 4-foot wine glass get set up. Alright guys, we got the tank trimmed down pretty good. You'll notice that throughout the process I went through and added some more of the Brightwell substrate in here to hold down this carpet of Monte Carlo. It's just so old and so big that, you know, it was lifting itself up off of the substrate. That's something that I've been battling with in this tank for a long time. So hopefully this way, you know, we cover it up a little bit, we give it some new material to grow in, and before too long it'll be popping up out of here and looking exactly how it did before. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drain the rest of the tank so that way I can pick this thing up and move it across the room. There we go. The tank is moved. Everything is looking really, really bad. And, you know, that's just what happens when you have to trim back so much growth. We took everything off the top here, but the stems from the Rotala and the Japan clover still has a good base in here. It's not going to take that long for everything to really start to grow up from this top portion here and basically create the same kind of look that it had before, just not as crazy. This is of course where Richard's old tank used to be. Richard's doing fine. We just moved him over into another tank that's going to be a lot better for him. His tank, the plants and everything just didn't end up working out, so we needed to get him a new home, so he's doing all good. This tank, I think, will live here indefinitely. But that frees us up with this corner of the room, guys, and as you can see, I've already moved a tank up here. This aquarium, we used to have the puffer fish in at the old place, and this was the holding tank that held Chris as well as the white cloud minnows and the cherry barbs before we put them in the pond. This tank is really sweet. It's 18 by 18. It's a really sweet cube, and it's the perfect tank for a new project. And like I said before, I don't really want to give away what I'm going to be working on. I'm sure some of you have already figured out. Drop it down in the comments if you think you know what I'm up to, but it should be pretty sweet. It may or may not involve fish. It certainly could if we decide to, but this is going to be the perfect tank height-wise. It's got perfect depth for it, I think, and it's going to be perfect for showing off this new style of tank. Again, drop it down in the comments if you think you know what I'm up to. I did go ahead and decide that we just needed to end the desert tank. It was not doing really well, and it's been around for a long time. We need to change a pace. It was a really unique tank, and I really loved the scape, but it's just time for something else. So we're actually going to get rid of this aquarium completely. We have all of the black Neos in here. I'm still fishing them out. I'm relocating these to another tank that's in the room, so hopefully it'll only take me a few more hours to get all these little guys out. It's not the easiest thing to do when you have to get rid of like a million shrimp. So we'll still have 4 aquariums in this room, which I think is plenty. I mean, with all the stuff we got going on downstairs, having a bunch of tanks up here is kind of a pain in the butt. I don't have a direct water source up here. Any water changes I do, I have to literally do with gallon jugs or a 5-gallon bucket or, you know, whatever. It's just, no matter how you do it, it's just a pain. So I really don't want to have any kind of real sizable volume up here, and that's why this tank over here probably won't be full. So that's another hint for you. I still got some work to do up here. I got to hook up the filter, the little sun canister, get that thing running again, and then make sure all my timers are good. But I won't bore you with that, guys. So I think that's pretty much it. Kind of a filler video, but I wanted to let you guys know about some of the cool stuff and exciting stuff that's going to be coming right around the corner here. I think it's going to be a really good change of pace, not only for you guys, but for me as well. It's been a long time since I've really had to like dive into something to learn like a new skill as far as like all of this goes, so I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope you are too. I think the content that's going to come out of it and the tanks that we're going to build are going to be really, really awesome. I guess we can't end the video without taking a closer look here at the forest tank. This is one of my absolute favorite aquariums right now. Just kind of in that sweet spot of low maintenance and everything's looking good. The fish are healthy, the shrimp are healthy, and the ecosystem's just doing really good overall. The last time you guys saw this tank was when we did a big trim on it, took quite a bit of moss out of the aquarium, and I was a little worried that it might not bounce back, but as you can tell, things are looking really, really good in here. The curries are always super active. The red cherry shrimp in here, we pretty much only have these really big ones up here. I can't get much closer than that, but they are just such an awesome deep red color. I love it. I think another forest style aquarium is definitely on my radar. I would love to do a scape like this on a larger scale. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Should we go for it? I don't know if I have enough manzanita wood at the current moment to get the job done, but it's definitely something that we could do in the near future. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. Thanks again one more time for watching, and we'll see you next time.